top three right now are tron, Whirza, Grixis, Shadow,
Yeah.
and the matchups against each other are pretty fair. There's a
It's.
lot
I
of
mean,
nuance that goes
against
on.
you, I think Etron has a better advantage than we do because it's like if they go Chalice on one, it's just like
Yep,
oh.
that fucks me pretty hard. Plus, you don't have to actually engage with their like board state at all.
Yeah.
When you're playing Grixis Shadow, you have to be actively removing their threats, preventing
Yeah.
Karn from just stealing the game out from underneath you,
Yeah.
and then getting in
So
with your shadows
looks like
and
we go
anglers.
turn one fetch Pith and Needle the expedition map.
I like that. I like seeing Tron suffer. I mean, I've done my fair share of just turn three Troning people, uh, and it never
Astrolabe.
feels good on
Ooh,
either
that's a good
side.
top draw. Into Opal.
Free
And then
mana.
Emery.
Should you keep a one lander right now?
We'll find out. We did.
Well, you're a wild man. I don't know why you keep so many one landers.
I think the fact I had double Astrolabe in hand.
See, like, I won't even keep a one lander if I have like double Street Wraith. Even then, I'm like, oh no, don't want to do this.
But you also don't play like Opal, which is effectively an additional land.
Yeah, I mean, you've effectively made two land drops
Yeah,
so far.
that's
So
what I'm
you're
saying,
not
like-
behind on mana at all.
So I'm saying like effectively it's a land drop. It's like
Another Astrolabe. You can play an Astrolabe out of your graveyard as well. Of course, you can get the snow mana by tapping Opal and then filtering it
Yes.
through the Astrolabe, which
Yep.
makes it snow for some ungodly reason. Recast Astrolabe.
get a land.
Gonna land. Not really any point in playing explosives on one, considering you've Pithing Needle. They're only one drop,
Yeah.
and you have 4 1 mana
And
artifacts
I
on
have
your
a
field.
I have a revoke. Or metallic rebuke in hand, excuse me.
Oh, but
So-
then on his side, he's got the Cavern of Souls. So unless he goes for Karn
Right.
on his turn,
So I mean we're both kind of in a stalemate spot. Like he can hit me for 3. I'm like that's fine.
yeah, you prevented him from having the explosive turn 3 Tron. Oh
Yeah.
man, there's no Smasher or Thought-Knot Seer on his side of
Right?
the field.
That's yeah. So turn 4.
And he
Neither
didn't
one of
go
those.
for Karn either. I wonder what he has.
I think it's just land. If I remember, I think he's had a bunch of land in hand, and just not the right ones.
If it is land, if it's just land, I think this last turn you could pop the Mind Stone, and even if you draw like the lowest thing you could draw is like Matter Reshaper, which is a fine card to cast because you would have the 3 mana available, or you could draw like a Walking Ballista, which you still could probably just cast for
Yeah,
one.
looks like Urza's coming down.
Urza and plenty of artifacts to turn into delicious mana. Except for now you've got the biggest creature on the field, so
Yeah, I mean he's only a 6/6, 5/5, 6/6.
that's actually bigger than anything that the like.
Yeah.
That's bigger than anything Tron is going to
Tap for
play.
blue, alter.
Thing is, like, his blowout card is typically all his dust. He can all his dust you right now, and you lose out on an Emery. So
And
like
Urza.
whatever. Emery and Urza, which is like okay, I still have a 6/6.
Yeah,
Did Emery run out of stuff to return?
I think so. I don't think there was a wobble.
Oh, you didn't play explosives. You could have played explosives on 0 and then had. Well, I mean, you had 5 mana this turn. Why didn't you activate Urza with?
Because I have a whir in hand, and then I also have the
Okay.
rebuke in case he tries to just cast Karn.
That's fair. You could have played the explosives on 0 and then
Net an additional mana.
yeah, but I don't know if you need to even worry about explosives. I just a pass again. What has he got? He drew a card. He's drawn 2 cards since he passed the turn last.
Yeah.
Did he attack with his Matter
He
Reshaper?
did, and I chose not to block.
Yeah, because then he might cantrip into something better.
Yes.
Because if he plays Karn here, it
So
effectively
that's
stops you from
I
winning.
can. I'm like, all right, well, whir for 2.
Do, 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 do.
Looks like he's
Slams
casting
with
Dismember.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, all right.
That's
So
pretty good.
I have the second whir in hand, and I could whir for 2 in response. And I think that's what I do.
I mean, you get to put the combo in play, and then basically ask your opponent whether or not they have Karn.
Well, I mean, I still have the construct, so I still have the construct and then Emery, and then I would still have with it coming into play with Urza still on the board. I could float it for a mana, and then like sack sword and get one additional copy of it. So then I have an evasion creature to take down Karn as well.
1, 2, 3, 4.
And then the construct 5.
5.
So we're for 2 in response to the dismember.
I would have liked to see you have tapped the Urza instead of the construct because the Urza's dying.
Liam.
Oh yeah, you're you're making a mana. Okay.
I was like, yeah. So we get sword, float the sword for float a blue with the sword. Urza then dies. Use a blue floating, sack sword, get a Thopter.
Okay. You still could have done all that, but left the construct untapped.
How?
Because you tapped the Urza for the Whir. Because it's... Oh no, it's not Convoke. I'm thinking it's Convoke.
I was like, Liam, we just talked about this.
Yeah. I've only played Court of Calling, alright? What do you want? Court of Calling is cooler.
Oh my god. Alright.
Even though they're like the same card. See, because Court of Calling lets you reduce the mana cost from just...
Well, and then this... I
creatures.
also have him on the additional clock, because since I do have an altar on the board, anytime that if he is not able to cast Karn...
Man, that's a bit of a stretch to call it an additional clock.
I mean, if he...
how many turns are you giving him? How long is this clock here?
I mean, it depends on the things that he gets, right? Because I mean,
yeah. You got 4 mana, so you can mill him for 8 every turn.
Yeah.
With the sword loop.
With the sword loop. I mean, if I get like a Mishra's Bauble, it's a little more. So there's a Smasher.
I'll do it. Get in. He can put you in a situation where
I think
you
at this
need to
point,
block,
yeah, I think. Because I'm just like, if I block with, because he effectively tapped out, right? So I'm like 1, 2, 3.
I mean, there's no like. Do you really lose that much if you block with the token?
I would lose an artifact, and I think I was looking to see if I can kill him on the crackback. Because there's 4, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the contract's a 10-10.
Then you just draw Urza.
I just draw Urza. That works too.
Thinking over.
Yeah. It was. So I was like, the construct's a 10-10. And I'm like,
got
then
4 more Thopters.
and then 4 more Thopters. So there's 14, and then Emery and a Thopter could still swing. That's exactly 16.
Okay, yeah.
Assuming I don't play like explosives on 0 as well, just to keep upping the count. So
yeah.
that's why I was like, I was debating if I wanted to block or not. I'm like,
Yeah,
I don't think because he's not gonna like team or battle rage me.
Man,
so I was like, okay, I can go to 5. I think I can kill him on the crackback because he effectively tapped out for the Reality Smasher. So in this one, I think I end up taking out the Metallic Rebukes. Because the only thing I can really hit that matters is Karn. And I would just rather have just better answers.
Yeah, the trophy seems strictly better.
Yeah.
Fatal Push is kind of meh in the matchup. It does have relevant things that it can kill. You can kill a Thought-Knots here. You can kill a Matter Ray Shaper. You can kill Walking Ballista. But I guess the question is, do you need to be doing those things? Ashiok, not very good. Not a lot of ways that they're searching.
It looks like I kept in an Energetic Explosive for some reason, and I'm not 100% sure why.
Does Chalice screw you over at all? I mean, if they play Chalice, I imagine they just play Chalice on 0.
Okay. That doesn't really screw us.
You get to kill Mishra's Bauble and Opal. That seems okay.
Yeah, I mean, like, you can slow us down, and typically that's why we play cards like Oko. It's like, cool, it's a 3/3, cast on my 0 drops.
If you're on the Eldrazi side, like, the Leyline the Void seem actually just fine. You're going to wish for everything else, and then you've definitely got dead cards in your main board. Like,
yeah.
You probably don't need, like, I don't think you actually need to have the Chalices in this matchup. All his dust is pretty much useless.
Yeah, because you're going to hit Emery, Urza, or a Thopter Foundry.
All his dust and Endbringer might just be a little too slow. It does get you cards, though.
Yeah.
This doesn't seem like the most grindy matchup. It seems like one of you is going to win within the first 5 turns.
Yeah. or at least have that advantage bar so far over that.
Yeah. I don't think there's a lot of situations in which drawing Endringer is going to drastically shift the game in the favor of
No.
the Eldrazi Tron deck.
Well, it's
Whereas just like Leyline just shuts down the combo, which is the thing that you lose to the most.
yes.
You can lose to them just like playing Whirza and having a big construct, or
Yeah.
you know,
But I mean,
making a lot of 3/3s with Oko, but really you're worried about the combo.
yeah, the combo is the thing that kills you that turn, or stops you that turn effectively. I still love that because I run Alter, I'm able to like mill out mill decks. It's like, oh, I can play your game too. Oh.
Until they mill your altar, and then you just feel bad.
That did happen in the game.
Did you Emery it back?
Huh?
Did you Emery it back?
I didn't have to. I was able just to clack him for for like Xaxes, because he also had him as Miracle Orb, so I couldn't go like a million Thopters. I'm like, what life are you at? 17 Thopters. Untap. 5 cards left in the library. Clack you.
That's wrong. Delve is such a hilarious matchup for Shadow. I had that game on stream where he basically gave me
Because you had like 3 or Grimhags.
he gave me 18 mana. It's like, wow, okay. How do I lose this game when my opponent's giving me 18 mana for free? Like, all right, dude. Sounds good.
Ooh, Blast Zone. Ooh, no Tron lands or Temple. Someone happy with that. Hey, look at that.
I mean, it's not the end of the world with Eldrazi Tron, though, because like the Eldrazi Tron is like, coincidentally, I found Tron and now my deck's insane, but you can just go and fetch for Eldrazi Temple right here.
Right, and that still gets you to turn 3 TKS, which is
turn
still
3
fine.
turn 3 Thought Knot, and then turn 4 Smasher.
Yeah.
So you're still doing all right.
I think I have an Urza in hand and an additional Opal, so I think is where I just like, I think I'll pull the trigger here.
Turn 2 Whirza. Pretty good.
So like, he's like, trigger Dismember. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
It's like, I have 4/4 Construct. Like, I can't really complain about that.
Is that what's in your hand? Is that an Astrolabe?
I think might be another Mox. I think it's another Mox.
Is it? Is it third Mox?
I think
it
so.
Looks like something else.
It does not have a third land.
Yeah, and he prevented himself from
Getting
the map.
Like, there's that. I'm gonna clack you for 5.
Got a Assassin's Trophy and an artifact.
Yeah.
Which you think is another Mox. That does look like a Mox.
Yeah, it's a Mox. I should have played it, because then if I had played it, I would have the 2 mana up for an Assassin's Trophy. Like right now, I just have
because you can filter through Astrolabe.
Yes. Yeah.
You're probably also going to draw a card from Bauble at this point, or are you just making your construct bigger?
I think I want to keep the construct big, so if he hits like a Reality Smasher.
One got the Eldrazi Temple.
So I expect a TKS here.
Yeah, now if he Thought Not Sears you.
Chalice on 0. I mean, it's a little late for that, but yeah.
A little late, but still fine. Problem is, if he were to Thought Not Sear you right there, he would have been able to take the Assassin's Trophy.
Yeah.
I'll draw a Whir.
So, right, we have a Whir.
No, you got the third blue source.
Yeah. So I'm kind of like, alright, like Whir for 2, we get a sword. Ooh. Damping Sphere is also a choice here, because then it shuts off the temple. It looks like we choose Damping Sphere.
I mean, you are just winning on board.
Yeah. Because then we're cracking for 6?
I don't know if I'm in love with Dampening Sphere.
I think in this case it was better than the sword, because like since he didn't TKS last turn, like this stops him from being able to Smasher next turn.
Yeah, but I think if you get sword, it helps you win quicker rather than not lose slower.
With that board state though, if the board state says it were, I think the Damping Sphere was better, because he's had a map and a Chalice on 0, and with the Damping Sphere, like it's effective. So if he like
You're
TKS
only shutting off one land though. You're only reducing a 1 land. So it's not like you're affecting too much of his board.
Right, but if he plays like a smasher, right, like he can still block with no downside. I suppose if he plays a TKS and blocks, I get to draw a card after he takes one from my hand.
Right. Well, he is at 5. Did cast to dismember this game. That also helped.
Yes.
Got the bridge in your hand, but there's no way you're casting it.
Yeah, no, this is not unless he found a way to kill the construct and was like, oh, it's a smasher? Yeah, no.
Does he actually have any way to kill a construct once it gets bigger than a 5/5?
I don't believe so. It looks like there's the concession.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
couldn't really get the ball rolling in that second game.